Carbon Tax, and Department of Labor and Procurement. But we're going to start with environment first with Senator Sabina Perez. Senator, you had a hearing on Friday. This is pretty crucial. And so this hearing was on open pit burning. Now, the military, is it, Senator, which branch? Is it just DOD in general, or is it Air Force? Or
This is Anderson Air Force Base, which put in a permit renewal application for open burn, open detonation. So the comment period had closed, but I wanted to raise awareness about the existence of this open burn, open detonation pit in the northern part of Guam, which is closest to one of our most populous villages, Chico and Dedido, who are going to be most directly impacted from this. And so this permit has been renewed every 3 years. I believe since 1980 was the very beginning of it. So they had open burn and open detonation. The open burning was decommissioned, or it was halted in 2002, and they're seeking to renew this open burn permit, which is very open burn and open detonation permits, which are very concerning considering it's old technology. It's based on dirty technology, which has been replaced by safer, cleaner technologies that other communities are using. Being that this is an application for renewal, I think it was very important to bring this to light and prevent any kind of further contamination of our environment. Some of the chemicals that are permitted under this application would be strontium and uranium, which we all know is carcinogenic. In addition to that, dioxin is known to be released in many of these open burn sites, which is also highly carcinogenic in very small quantities, as well as being an endocrine disruptor. And these chemicals last in the environment for many, many, many years. The other thing was PFAS. So PFAS is an emerging pollutant, and we are learning that PFAS cannot break down naturally in the environment. That's by design.
yeah,
And so they cause huge health effects at very small quantities, 70 parts per trillion. And some of those things are, it affects the immune system. It can affect pregnant women. It affects our thyroids. Many people of Guam have thyroid issues.
yeah.
And not only that, particulate matter. Particulate matter is known to exacerbate asthma. It can bring on asthmatic attacks and potentially affect the heart. So these are very serious. It's a very serious application. It has serious adverse effects on our community and our environment. And I wanted to bring to light these issues, and hopefully we can prevent this from happening. The comment period had closed, but I think, I was requesting Guam EPA that they reopen the comment period. This is a 300-page document. Many people are not aware of its existence, let alone the permit application. So yeah, if anything we can do, I think also a lot of this water, so there's open detonation pits are known to contaminate the groundwater, and also the air as well for those communities in close proximity. So a lot of this water would end up in our oceans, which affects the fish. I think it's really critical that EPA really kind of takes a look at this, really a closer look, and really advocate for the protection of our environment and our people.
Right, Senator. So, I get it, right? Open pit burning, bad, because all the uranium, strontium, and all that stuff. But when you say that the permit is up for renewal, right? But I know that we had discussed that this hasn't been done on island since 2002, or the military doesn't do open pit burning since 2002. So if they're renewing the permit, my question was, has there been open pit burning occurring over the years on island?
So according to the informational hearing I had, the open burning part was not used. Their open burning unit was not used since 2002, but the open detonation has been continually used, and that also can release uncontrolled emissions, such as these chemicals that I mentioned earlier. But there is current technology. Static detonation chambers is one of them. There are many alternatives that have been recognized not only by US EPA, but also Department of Defense. And in the permit itself, it mentioned that they were not going to look into alternatives because they think it was not safe. Well, that is not the case. That is not accurate because there are communities that have been reviewed by the Department of Defense as being safe, and they're currently being implemented. They have been implemented for many years. So I think it's disingenuous that the military put that down, knowing that full well that they've approved applications for safer technology. This is a small island. We only have one aquifer. This open pit unit, open burn unit, and open detonation units are very in close proximity to it. In addition to a lot of the wildlife that exists up there.
Yeah. And Senator, so I know you had your informational hearing Friday. I did want to get Guam EPA on relative to this open pit burning. Hopefully this week it'll work out. But I know you had sent a couple letters, one to Guam EPA Administrator Walter Leon Guerrero, and another one to our governor, Lou Leon Guerrero, relative to this open pit burn subject. What do you track with those letters?
I'm sorry, what do I track with them, or what do I expect to get out of them?
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, so, really the quickest route is to talk to the decision makers, namely the administrator of Guam EPA. So Guam is unique because we have we were delegated, or at least Guam EPA was delegated the authority to review these hazardous permits. Unlike in Saipan, US EPA reviews those permits. In Saipan, they do not have open burning permits. They only have open detonation permits. Here on Guam, we have open burn and open detonation. I think it's really egregious that we continue to have an open burn permit when they're safer technologies, and we want to protect our people and our environment. I think it's critical that we deny the open burning permit. In addition to that, it was very clear from the informational hearing, there was no compliance schedule. They were basically, Guam EPA is relying on an honor system of the military to report any kind of incidents. There was maybe annually just one inspection with Guam EPA and maybe another with US EPA. But considering that this is dirty technology, it's not acceptable. The other thing is the groundwater monitoring plan is not rigorous enough to capture any kind of contaminants being released. And to my understanding, there isn't any air monitoring either happening in this permit. So that's very concerning.
Yeah, I mean, to say the least. But what do you think, though? It's the military. You think they're just going to approve it anyway, or is there any chance they deny this permit? And then I wanted to ask, if they do deny this permit, does the Air Force have those other technologies that you're talking about available on island?
So they don't have the technology currently, but on island. But this is something that can be worked out, I believe. I think again, Guam EPA has the authority to either deny or approve, modify the permit. And this is a 3-year cycle. They can basically hold Anderson to plan to phase in this technology, and we need to do it before we get further exposed to these chemicals. A lot, cancer is the second highest cause of death on Guam. That's we need to do better.
Yeah. I mean, clearly, obviously, you're right on this, Senator. I wanted to switch gears a little bit. Procurement. Can you put on your procurement oversight hat? Okay, I'll give you a second to get that right on. So, financial management system. The timeline on this is there was an emergency declaration in I want to say November last year. They had put it with the chief procurement officer. They then moved the procurement over to the Department of Administration, and this is to procure a brand new financial management system, which Administration Director Ed Byrne has said is very important, especially when it comes to a lot of according to Mr. Byrne, a lot of the reporting requirements associated with this ARP money. So where are we with this? I'll be a little snarky here. This so-called emergency procurement that has stretched for, it's almost been a full year, Senator.
Yeah. So the latest, I haven't heard any updates on progress of it. But I did have a public hearing regarding Bill 182, which would limit sole source procurement. And one of the topics that was discussed was the increased use of sole source for technology. And so Director Byrne was present, and he stated that the better direction to go in is open source type of procurement. So, I mean, he's aware that being potentially locked into a contract, when technology is moving very quickly, and so it's my hope that putting this into practice, that he's looking at the broader long-term effect of procurement and seeing that maybe incorporating this idea of open source versus sole source, right? When it comes to technology, especially now, we're becoming more dependent on it. So yeah, I need to follow up with Director Byrne on the progress of that.
I mean, are you concerned at all? Because I know that we've definitely had some issues with emergency procurement during this pandemic, and this kind of just seems like, I mean, we're going on a year.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I did have an informational hearing on the emergency procurements from last, the pandemic, during the pandemic. Yeah, that's something definitely I'm very interested in following up with regards to this financial management system. And again, I do hope that Director Byrne is looking at the longer term, where instead of sole source, he's looking at open source type of systems. The other thing too is I believe that Ernst & Young is doing a review of our internet or interconnections infrastructure, our information infrastructure related to DRT. I definitely would like to follow up with these agencies to ensure that there is an interconnectivity with the what they're procuring as far as information technology. So yeah, this is something that I would need to follow up on.
Wait, what did you say? Interconnectivity between agencies and Department of Rev and Tax. Is this something to do with Rev and Tax talking to DOA in terms of like direct deposits and checks? Because we heard there's been some issues with direct deposits for some of the, I don't know if it's child tax credit or All Rise. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, so this has been a chronic issue. Even though Department of Treasury is located within Department of Revenue and Taxation, their systems don't communicate to each other. In addition to other agencies such as Department of Land Management, agencies that need to be connected to the DRT are not connected. And so there is an audit being conducted, or a study being conducted, to see where they can improve these services or improve their service through greater information technology that interconnects these agencies. Yeah, yeah, for the listening audience, it's kind of interesting how you could be paying your bill at Department of Treasury, but Department of Revenue and Taxation may not know about it, and so that needs to change, right? And that all is part of I hope the financial management system that they're trying to purchase.
Wow, so that's the issue. I wanted to talk, while we're on the subject of Rev and Tax, maybe a little more low-tech issue, Senator, but I wanted to share this concern from a friend of mine nonetheless. Relative to the process, so obviously the Rev and Tax advises everyone to make an appointment, right? Whether it's for renewing your driver's license or vehicle registration or whatever. So we stand out this appointment process, and this friend of mine actually had an appointment. But he ended up, let me just read this off to you. I made my appointment on July 20th a few months ago. I entered the line for DMV driver's license renewal at 6:15 a.m. I finally got my license at 12:20 p.m. So about 6 hours wait time in a line here. It's a health hazard to have people wait this long. The most pitiful sight was a Manamkut lady who was sitting on the handicapped cashier's countertop for at least an hour. Sitting on a countertop because no chairs for the Manomko. She waited at least an hour, plus the hours she waited outside. She had a cane. I was so sorry for her. I a day. And then come to hear that, many of our elderly have issues waiting in these lines for hours when you have an appointment. That's what I don't get. It's like you make an appointment and you still got to wait 6 hours. And I'm hearing about elderly who have to go to the bathroom while they wait in line. Is there a better way, Senator, in 2021?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think customer service, I know they put some resources to customer service. This is something that, yeah, is a question, is concern. Why are we, if we're putting money towards customer service, why isn't it being implemented? Um, I did receive calls myself about Monumco not being able to access bathrooms, and that's, this is a long-standing issue too. This is another long-standing issue with Department of Revenue and Taxation, is the facilities. It's yeah, I mean, I can definitely put in a call to Daphne and request follow-up. What is the issue? How can we address this? Um,
Yeah,
so that's something that I can proceed with. But yeah, this is something that I've been trying to address. Facilities, customer service. I can continue to reach out to her
right.
regarding.
What did you track, or what the communications you got about Monumco not being able to use the bathroom up there in Rev and Tax? Did you have any specifics? Because I heard some stuff too.
Yeah, so one of them was an elderly lady was she really needed the bathroom, but she was directed to go to a further one. I think there are issues with the cleaning and upkeep. So I think lately there was the latest one was sewage backup, and that was it was on the private side. So it wasn't GWA, it was the private landlord, the building, the facility itself. I think also the issue has been the cleaning services that they've been procuring. It's not sufficient. It's not, yeah, it's not frequent enough. And so, considering there's a huge amount of clients that come in on a daily basis, the amount of bathrooms to clients is not adequate, I think. So I did reach out to DPHSS a while back, and they were supposed to do the walkthrough for ensuring the safety of the building. This is something that I can do again to follow up, to make sure that the facilities are adequate for the public. I've actually reached out to the director. I found, the thing is, I think DRT needs a home. They need a new home for their facility, and I did find land, government land, but it wasn't accepted. So yeah, and I've been trying to assist with if they need to find another place that's a little bit more conducive. My office has been trying to reach out to them to assist in that way, but it hasn't transpired yet.
Well, good luck with that. But I mean, it doesn't take a new building to treat our elderly with respect. Because what I had heard was that this elderly woman, for whatever reason, was berated for using the employee bathroom. And I don't know if you want to look into that, but I think it's rather unfortunate when we get these stories of people waiting, especially our elderly, right? Waiting in line 6 hours. I mean, having to use a bathroom, employees getting mad because they got to use an employee bathroom. I feel like our Monumco definitely deserve better, and it's not awesome. So I appreciate it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's unconscionable to berate, to treat the elderly that way. So yeah, definitely would reach out to Daphne and see what the issue was there, and hopefully we can fix that.
Have you had any update on All Rise?
I think only what's been coming out from the press releases. I haven't seen anything lately regarding that.
Okay. Well, Senator, thank you for your time this morning. Definitely appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much, Chris.
Okay. Senator Sabina Perez, she's the oversight